Hello, nieces and niestos. How are you today? I am SavingsFashionista. And over here in Nistas Nation, we do mainly things fragrances. So today we are here to do a review on a niche brand fragrance. So let's do a little housekeeping first. First, I want to thank all of my returning subscribers. I want to thank the new potential subscribers for clicking the link to my video. I greatly appreciate you. So if you would like to show an act of kindness, just go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. And if you want to follow the golden rule and treat someone as if you desire to be treated, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. All right, so let's just get right into why we're here today. But in the background, I wanted to share with you what I was burning. I am burning the A La Rose by Maison Crivelli. This over here, when I'm doing luxury brand, celebrity, niche, or indie fragrance reviews, I will always try to include the brand type. I will try to include the fragrance type. I will try to include the longevity, the sillage, as well as the gender profile. All right, so today we are going to review the Hibiscus Mahajad by Maison Crivelli. All right, so this is a vial that I got from another fragrance where I purchased here in my town at a little fragrance boutique. I had purchased a Byredo fragrance, and this was given to me as a gift. So as I've been doing my research, I do own another fragrance by Maison Crivelli, and I want to just say thank you to the perfume guy, because I learned a lot from him on my new venture to try to get away from what I have been accustomed to over the past 10 to 12 years, which is bud number 9. So that's going to always probably be an honorable mention here. But I am trying to expand my fragrance houses. And he really impressed me with a review that he did probably about 4 or 5 months ago, as well as a conversation he had with Maison Crivelli, or either representative from there, when they were initially about to mainstream their fragrance into the US. Okay, so this particular fragrance here, I think this is their latest release. This was released November 2021. And like I said, the house crossed over probably about 5 or 6 months ago. And this fragrance is originated in France. All right, so the brand type, this would definitely be considered a niche fragrance. The reason it's a niche fragrance because it only focuses, or the designer only focuses on fragrances. So that's what makes a fragrance niche. The fragrance type, it is definitely a woody, floral, spicy fragrance to me. The projection is probably about a 7.5. The sillage is about a 4. The longevity, I would say it's about 7 to 10 hours. I don't know if my body was doing something different on the first day that I wore it than it was the second day, but I noticed the second time that I wore it, it lasted much longer. And the gender profile, it is definitely a unisex fragrance. All right, so the fragrance notes here in the Hibiscus Mahajad is hibiscus tea, of course. And a hibiscus tea, it's kind of like, it will kind of like put you in the mind of like a pomegranate scent. Not exactly, but if you wanted to break it down and kind of like give some familiarity to something that you probably, or is probably more prevalent in a lot of American fragrances, it would definitely be the pomegranate. All right, there's ruby rose. There is cactus in here, and cactus is like black currant. So those of you who know what black currant is, you know black currant is a slightly woody, spicy, acidic type of sweet note. And it has spicy mint, leather, amberette, which is like a musk. And those are the fragrance notes. Okay, so on first spray of this, you definitely get the experience of the hibiscus and the rose note. That is what I'm getting. The hibiscus and the rose note is definitely prominent in this fragrance. Now, the thing that I like about the two fragrances that I have experienced from this house is that the transformation of notes, for the most part, it holds several hours. So what I mean by that, those of you who love fragrances, you know we have like a top, a middle, and a base note. And I have experienced some fragrances and they tend to jump right into the base note around sometimes less than an hour, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. You know, it just kind of like goes and makes the transitions on your skin very quickly. What I like about this fragrance here, that initial note that I smell with that hibiscus, sweet pomegranate smell combined with the rose, it lasted on my skin the entire time while I was at work. So from 7 to like 3 o'clock, 3:30, I could smell that same initial note. I don't really notice a transformation until like later that night, and once I get into the shower. That's when I start to smell that musk mallow, which is the ambretta. But along with smelling that musk mallow, I also was picking up like a gourmandish note. The fragrance profile does not say that it has vanilla in it, but it was something in it that was giving me like that creamy vanilla smell. So I'm not really sure if the combination of the leather and the mint, the spicy mint, along with the ambretta was causing you to get like this gourmandish note. I'm not really sure about this. But you guys, this is a really, really good fragrance. I would definitely say, and I really don't like saying this, but I have to speak in the code of what most people think about when they wear or they select fragrances. I would definitely say that this is a spring, summer, and probably early fall scent, because it's really, it's when you smell the fragrance, it's definitely going to make you think about an outdoorsy area. You're going to get that just, it's not green, but it's almost if you are in like a woody kind of like area, or just imagine smelling some fresh roses in the woods or the forest. That's what you're kind of getting. So because it's the transition of the fragrance, it is very smooth and slowly. That's why I say that this fragrance could be stretched across 3 different seasons, because the notes that I pick up from this when I smell or I think about the tea smell, not only do you think about the warmth of a home, but you also think about just being out in an airy area, being outside, enjoying the, you know, atmosphere and just nature. So, it's a really good scent, you guys. It is definitely a really good scent. That projection of a 7.5, you're going to get that projection. The second time I wore it, I got that projection for, I know, about 6 hours. So it was projecting on the heavier side for like 6 hours. Like I said, it was much later in the evening before I would say or consider it to become a skin scent. And that's practically normal. You know, you've worn the fragrance all day. So the sillage, I don't think that the sillage is very bold and bright, just because of the contents that are in the actual fragrance. And the sillage was very minimal. You would have to be standing, you know, like really, really close to me, in a really close proximity, in order for you to probably smell or get a whiff of my fragrance. But as far as the luxury of me smelling myself, that was about 6 hours. I could just smell myself just for like 6 hours. It smells so good. So this is definitely one of those airy, outdoorsy, like I say, woody, with a hint of spice, but it has that rose element that kind of gives it a really subtle sexiness to it that could be, in my opinion, for a male or a female. Because with fragrances, we have to be mindful that our pheromones cause fragrances to do different things. So that's what I love about perfumers or chemists that have studied, you know, what reacts to the body and, you know, how it reacts in different ways. So I want to thank you guys again for coming back to the channel. This is the Hibiscus Mahajad. I looked on several sites. I've looked it on the Twisted Lily. It's sold out there. And I looked on this place called Lucky Scents. It is also sold out there. Now, when I got my first bottle, I ordered it from the Maison Crivelli, the Maison Crivelli website. And, you know, it's overseas, so it has to go through customs. But it was relatively quick. I probably got it in about 10 days. So, you probably, if you're interested, you could probably find a sample on Lucky Scents. Also check some of your local perfume counters. I don't know if this has hit stores yet. It has not hit the stores that I frequent here in my town, but I would try those two sites. So again, I want to thank you for coming back to the channel, and do not forget, you, yes, you are great. Bye-bye.